Tell me about the most ridiculously inappropriate reason a coworker got fired. Coworker loudly announced he was very into redheads right in front of a brand new employee who was a redhead. He was fired the same day. Classic. A guy once told a pregnant coworker, if your boyfriend launches the tadpoles right before labor, the baby will slide out easier. After that, the company couldn't really hide the fact he was day drinking at work. Fired. We had an 18-year-old guy, a hardcore recreational powder enthusiast. Always on time, did his job, but took regular bathroom breaks. Before the break, he'd be sweaty and twitchy. After, slow and spacey. We all knew. Same as we knew that 2 other dudes cleaned the parking lot 3 times a day just to puff the herbal jazz lettuce behind the dumpster. But hey, as long as the work gets done, whatever. Until one day, this kid went for his usual dose and didn't come out after 15 minutes. We banged on the door, nothing. Thought he overdosed, so we unlocked it with a screwdriver and found him with a vitamin needle in one hand and furiously polishing the joystick in the other. Fired. We had a guy working 3 jobs at once, and whenever he came to our office, he'd immediately fall asleep. A few times, he apparently had spicy dreams, made some very not safe for work noises, and self-activated right there in his pants. At first, the boss tried to be understanding, but there's a limit. New guy, less than a month in, got fired for one-hand typing practice in the bathroom during breaks. His mom was the garden center manager at Walmart at the time. The chief legal officer and chief investment officer of a public investment fund were having an office romance. He was married, she wasn't. Not the problem. The problem was they kept doing the horizontal networking in the office even after being warned. Both got fired from their 7-figure jobs. I used to work at a big grocery store chain, and we had this coworker, hands down one of the best employees I've ever met. Super helpful, insanely productive, could solve any problem. Later, we found out his productivity booster was sniffing powdered coconut joy in the bathroom during breaks. Our manager noticed some white dust on the counter, called the cops, and everyone had to take a test. He tested positive and got fired. Honestly, you'd never have guessed. He was always friendly, never acted sketchy. My former regional manager got caught mid-holiday party festivities with one of my employees. She was on the sink, he was hard at work, pants at ankles. He was 55, married, she was 19. Honestly, the age gap wasn't even the biggest problem. The real issue, the sink was covered in mystery snow. On my last job before retiring, we had this new mechanical engineer, fresh out of college. Dude sent a picture of his holiday ham to a female coworker using the company phone connected to our internal network. IT traced it back to him in about 5 seconds. Then they discovered he'd sent similar pics to other people. That got him fired instantly. No HR second chance nonsense. Back in college, I worked part-time as a pizza delivery driver. We often brought orders to the campus, and sometimes we'd get special requests. You know, the classic, I don't have money, maybe I can pay you in a different way? Turns out this happened more often than I thought. My boss even had an official policy. We were allowed to accept those offers, but only if the customer still paid for the pizza, and the extra activities had to be on our personal break time. Word got round, and students started ordering pizza while specifically requesting certain drivers. Me, never got called once. Sad emoji. At some point, an unofficial code appeared. If someone ordered pizza and asked for extra olive oil, it meant they wanted a little extracurricular action. We didn't even offer olive oil as a topping. Eventually, the rumors spread too far and the police got involved. My boss was arrested for pimping, and his replacement brought in a strict rule: no cake on company time. And that was the short, spicy era of pizza with perks. Had a coworker who seemed normal at first. Then he told me HR got a complaint after he called a colleague pretty, and distanced myself. Later found out he'd been fired for harassment. Apparently this wasn't new. He had a history of getting too aggressive with women at other jobs. Seeing how many people get fired for manual activities at work makes me laugh. I've been doing it on shift for nearly 20 years. Always in the bathroom, always cleaning up after myself, never involving anyone else. Still undefeated. Our company clearly didn't do background checks. They hired this awkward guy who kept to himself but made some people uneasy. Then one day he just vanished, and HR flat out denied he'd ever worked there. Turns out he was a registered offender and had previously been caught with the world's worst kind of illegal images. By law, he wasn't even allowed to use unsupervised electronics, and he'd been on our work computers for months. Only got caught when his social worker finally noticed. The craziest part? It happened twice. Another guy with the exact same restrictions got hired. 2 weeks later, his social worker showed up and shut it down. Worked at a shady little telemarketing firm in the early 2000s. One of our top sales guys was a complete idiot who thought he was a gift to women. He'd literally whip out his thumb drive when women walked past his desk and go, "Check this out." Yeah, he didn't last long. FedEx hub in Memphis, 2 aircraft mechanics got caught having friendly wrestling in the cockpit. Both got fired. One of them successfully appealed her termination, claiming she was technically on break. One coworker installed a hidden camera in the women's restroom. A woman found it. He got fired instantly. How did they know it was him? Well, as a criminal defense lawyer, let me tell you, people who set up cameras almost always accidentally film themselves setting them up. A guy on a business trip to South Korea used the corporate credit card to pay for a happy ending massage. He didn't think the receipt would get translated into English. Many hotels disguise those services on the bill as fruit baskets or urgent laundry, so employees can expense them. But nope, not this time. My relative's coworker was fired for hosting after-hours multiplayer sessions right in the office. We never found out how they caught him, but most offices have motion-activated cameras that ping management when someone's inside after hours. I often wonder how many people work normal jobs while filming content for fans until they get caught. Just open any 18+ subreddit. You'll see nurses, retail workers, and office folks taking spicy selfies in the staff bathroom. 2 coworkers were playing leapfrog in the company van with untinted windows parked in the pickup drop-off zone of an elementary school at dismissal time. And yes, parents reported them. Huge online meeting with 3 teams. One guy pasted a link to spicy content in the public chat. Nobody noticed at first, but because of how the software worked, we couldn't delete it. The host had to end the call and restart under the excuse of technical issues. Moral of the story, kids, always check your clipboard before Control+V. My wife's coworker got caught after work wrestling with his goose in his car, in the parking lot, under the executive office windows. Funniest part, he still asked if he could keep his job. We had a private bathroom in the first aid room. No one was technically supposed to use it, but everyone did. One woman walked in and caught her supervisor getting janitorial affection from the cleaning lady. What shocked me most was that this wasn't the first time, it was the 4th. The first 3 times, they just gave him warnings. If it had been a regular employee, they would have been launched into the sun after the first incident. In the military, we had a civilian intern married to another soldier. She started testing the mattress springs with a new officer at the office. Her husband found the messages and sent them to command. She was let go under the excuse that her position was no longer funded. The officer just got transferred. Over 10 years ago, I worked as a waitress at a country tavern. One night, I was heading to my car when our dishwasher waved me over. He said his car wouldn't start and asked to borrow my phone. When I got closer, he grabbed my wrist and tried to pull me toward the window, other hand very much not empty. I managed to twist free and ran back inside. The managers checked the security footage, confirmed it, and fired him on the spot. No apology, no sympathy, just annoyance that they'd have to find a new dishwasher. One even suggested it was somehow my fault for giving him the wrong idea. I'd barely spoken to that guy in my life. One night at 1 a.m., I was on admin duty at the hospital when the head nurse called. She said an angry wife of a patient had shown up demanding to see the chief immediately. When I got there, she told me, very clearly, that she'd walked into her husband's room and saw a nurse riding him like a mechanical bull. They didn't even notice her. I suspended the nurse immediately. She was fired soon after. I was an HR assistant at a small resort hotel in Oregon during the off-season. Hardly any guests, nothing much going on. I went to meet the head chef about inventory and heard noises. 2 people noises. Turned around, saw the walk-in freezer door cracked open, opened it, and there was our head chef flambeing the brand new waitress hired 2 weeks ago. Manager walked in right after me, so yeah, busted. Security footage confirmed they'd done it before. Both were fired. The chef was married, so awkward. We also had to throw out everything from that freezer. Would you want to eat food stored where 2 coworkers just played Find the Spatula? One guy wanted to leave work early, but the boss said nope, so he shoved a melted choco bar into his pant leg and claimed he'd had a major digestive disaster and urgently needed to go home. He took a few days off, but when he came back, HR called him in. Turns out someone had been stealing snacks from the vending machines, so the company installed cameras in the break areas. They ended up catching a video of him buying a chocolate bar, microwaving it, and sliding it into his pants. My buddy got canned because a girl he'd liked for a long time decided to finally get flirty in the walk-in freezer. They barely got started before someone walked in on them. Super religious guy, never drank, until one business trip when he suddenly started sipping the giggle juice, then decided everyone around wanted to see his noodle. Spoiler, they didn't. Jim from sales was obsessed with healthy eating. Dude inhaled fruit like it was going extinct. But another coworker I'd known for 5 years, yeah, he got caught seasoning our work boots. End of the day, he'd go into the locker room, sniff our boots, put them on, and sometimes add his own custom insole filling. One guy noticed a weird stain on his insoles that wasn't there the night before. Set up a camera and caught him red-handed and red-faced. After that, management bought everyone new boots. I'm still pretty sure when we tossed the old ones, he took them home for private research. Fired and reported to the proper people. Guy got caught adding extra topping to the ice cream machine. Fired and arrested. Edit. Yes, they deep cleaned the machine, and yes, we all got the joke. I once worked at a place that converted chassis into full trucks. Hundreds of finished vehicles sat waiting for shipping. One day, someone saw 2 workers climb into the back of a truck. A few minutes later, 2 more joined them. The supervisor opened the truck to find 2 naked men and 2 naked women having a lively conference on mechanic blankets and a meth pipe in the corner. Turns out this happened twice a week for months. Only once in my career did I have to personally take a staffer's badge and laptop and escort them out. Why? Because it turned out they were moonlighting as an adult wellness provider, and the security camera caught them serving a client in the office after hours. Yep, brainy wasn't part of the job description. Our IT guy got fired for keeping terabytes of adult peanut butter on his work computer and watching it at his desk in an open plan office, not even in a private room. Still blows my mind. At the golf course where I used to work, a new girl joined the team. My coworker immediately fell for her. He noticed her car had a 9-inch nail sticker, perfect conversation starter, right? Instead of asking about her favorite song, he left a note on her car with lyrics from a certain track. If you know the song, you know the line. If not, his very first words to her were basically, "I want to beep you like a woodland creature." She was not impressed. He didn't last long there. Coworker got canned after telling a new hire on her first day, "I'm gonna hook up with every woman who works here, so why not start with you? Let's grab drinks tonight." She was married. She was not abused. I was managing a gas station. Night cashier whipped out his garden hose and started counting change with it in his hand in front of a female customer. She complained, I checked the cameras, and yep, can't unsee it. I'm a teacher, and this wasn't anything that inappropriate, but the administration blew it up like it was a Netflix true crime special. One of my colleagues was a fitness fanatic, into CrossFit, marathons, the whole deal. Turns out she also taught pole fitness classes at a CrossFit gym on Saturdays. When the admin found out, they fired her over pole fitness. Absolute clown show. Our manager used to take photos of female employees when they were just chilling on break, then blackmail them to get their phone numbers and apparently other personal perks. HR found out and yeeted him instantly. One dude got blazed during lunch and drove the wrong way down a one-way street. When the cops stopped him, smoke was pouring out of his car like it was a barbecue competition. This guy had two major problems. First, he had a medical condition that gave him bumps all over his body, and he kept showing them to coworkers. One day, he hit a counter, popped one, and bled through his shirt, which he then proudly showed to customers. Second, he made copies of spicy customer photos that people brought in to print. We caught him when an employee noticed her relative's order had been reprinted. Checked the cameras, there he was, looking at the pics and conducting solo research. When we searched his locker, we found about 8 stolen sets of photos. I've had coworkers fired for watching forbidden content. One guy complained his PC was slow, called IT, who found 30 tabs of National Geographic Animal Edition open. Another guy kept watching videos on his phone during night shifts and was even rehired after being fired for the same thing before. Got offered a job by a chef I'd worked with in a fancy restaurant before. I asked how he ended up there and he told me about the previous head chef. That guy used his phone to play music in the restaurant, then went to the bathroom. Somehow his educational films for adults started playing through the entire restaurant speakers. It didn't last long. As soon as he came out, he was fired on the spot. A guy with Down syndrome took a framed Employee of the Month photo off the wall and enjoyed some alone time with it in the break room. At first, he was fired, then rehired after his guardian raised hell, claiming he didn't understand what he was doing. But trust me, he knew. He told me himself he wanted to get caught just by a specific female coworker. Can't even imagine his plan if she actually walked in. When your head of corporate IT security gets let out in handcuffs, you can bet they found something deeply cursed in his files. Seems like most guys just need to hit the reset button before work. Anyway, thanks for watching. Drop your wildest coworker got fired for this stories in the comments and check out our other videos. Bye.